Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode.
I'm Brock,
I'm Brent. Welcome to 2PC Chat.
where we talk about Star Wars, Marvel, and everything else.
Welcome.
Yo, what's up, guys?
Yeah, we're back. It's been a busy week. I know we're pushing this episode out a little bit later than we'd like to, but
We're here.
We're here. There's just so much information that happened in part 5 that we can't just skip over.
Exactly. Yeah, no, that was a fantastic episode. I know there was a lot of hype around it, given the teaser at the end of episode 4, right? I mean, we get to see the man himself, Anakin Skywalker. So yeah, episode 5 was great. We can go ahead and dive into it.
Yeah. I mean, I was a little disappointed that my theories were kind of going away during that episode. I was hoping to see like Morai pull her in, but I mean, I definitely still felt like Anakin kind of is taking that place of the father, like that like the prophecy said in the Clone Wars.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I mean, that was, I don't know. Like I said, my theories kind of, most of them went out the window with that episode, but we still got a few in store.
Yeah, for sure. No, I think just seeing the, like I said, whenever you see Hayden Christensen in the robes, right, and in the Anakin fit, you're in for a treat, because I mean he plays the character so well. Like, so when they first meet or whatever, and he's like, well, you haven't finished your training and I haven't taught you everything yet, like it was just great to like see that interaction, and then to like have the duel start off, right? Like you can see like Anakin's back, right? Like we got full on Revenge of the Sith, like dueling lightsaber battle with Anakin, and it was I was thoroughly impressed. It was great.
Oh yeah, with his twirls and
It was great.
it was awesome. Yeah, dude. I mean, just starting it off with that was amazing.
For sure.
Just seeing him again, just back at it, kind of being that teacher that we never got to see live action. We only got to see Clone Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of seeing the dynamic that him and Ahsoka had, that she was still just like almost willing to learn, even though she knew what he became, type thing.
Right. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, before we get into that part too, like just seeing the whole live action like Clone Wars part was sick, right? Like Clone Wars was probably some of my favorite Star Wars. Like episode 3 will always be my favorite, hands down, 100%.
Right.
But Clone Wars, like from episode 1 to like season 7, there was no bad episode in there. Like I thought it was just fantastic all the way through. So Clone Wars is definitely my favorite. But yeah, just to see that live action, like with both of them, was great.
Oh, 100%. I mean, so we did find out that, that first battle was Ryloth.
Yep.
Them going back to there, you see the Twi'leks in the background,
Mm-hmm.
you see a quick glimpse of Captain Rex. And even just that, I was just like, yeah, it's Rex.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, it was great, and I think they did a great job of selecting the actress, right, for young Ahsoka. Like, I don't know if you caught it, but she actually played in Infinity War.
Yeah, little Gamora, right?
Yeah, she's little Gamora. So yeah, it was cool to see her. She did a great job playing young Ahsoka.
Yeah, I think she actually played in the Barbie movie too.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, I haven't seen that yet, but
it's actually pretty good.
I think it's cool too, because it like puts it in perspective. Like, so in the Clone Wars, you have this young Ahsoka who's just like pretty BA across the whole series, and you can see her character develop and basically become stronger. And just seeing her in live action and thinking of like Darth Maul, right? Like that young little girl is someone that bested Darth Maul, like at some of his best. So it's just a real testament to like see her as a powerful Jedi, right?
Yeah, I mean, like you were saying, best of Darth Maul. That next battle that they come to, is that Siege of Mandalore.
Exactly.
You know, we see the Mandalorians that follow Darth Maul. We see them. You know, we see her doing her spins. You know, flips, and it's just amazing seeing that. You know.
Exactly. Yeah, no, it's cool too. Like, so with that scene, right? Like the Siege of Mandalore, like that's when we get to see the shift, right? Like, so Anakin was like, "Oh, I don't remember this battle," and that's when Ahsoka's like, "Oh, you weren't here."
Yeah.
And then we get that pause, and then he's like, "Oh, so that's what this is about," and then he becomes Vader, like right instantly, right? So they, cinematography and directing and everything, visual effects, they did a great job of showing the transition between Anakin and Vader. Like, it was hands down amazing.
Oh, 100%, dude. I love seeing just Anakin with the red lightsaber, you know, Sith eyes.
Oh yeah.
Dude, imagine if that was the Vader that we got, you know,
Oh right. Yeah.
rather than the, you know, iconic mask, cape, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, if we got that Vader, I mean,
Oh,
this dude would
I feel
have
like it would have
ruled
been
the
a lot.
galaxy.
Exactly. I think it would have been a lot more powerful. 'Cause, I mean, granted, Vader is still one of the most powerful Sith out there, right? I mean, just his ability with the Force makes him like so powerful. But I think if we got like an Anakin Vader, I think it would have been a whole different ball game as far as like the reign of the Empire.
Yeah, no, it was just amazing to see all that aspect. But again, that ties into like he's that balance again, you know,
Oh yeah.
like how easy he could just like go from Vader back to, you know, just like quick close of the eyes, back to
Yeah.
Anakin, you know.
Well, there's like a lot of hidden nuances, right? And I think some hidden metaphors in there too, like with like throughout the whole sequence between Anakin and Ahsoka. So like initially when Anakin's like, "Oh, like we're gonna duel," Ahsoka's like, "I'm not gonna fight you," and then Anakin's like, "Oh, I've heard that before." That was a hint of like him, like Vader fighting Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
In the original trilogy, right? So like, I thought that was cool. And then I don't know if you noticed, but like when you see Anakin dueling with like the blue saber, he's a lot more fast. He's doing the spins and everything. And then when he has the red saber, he's more forceful
Has that
and like
power.
the powerful strikes. So that's, you can definitely see the parallels between Anakin and Vader in those sequences, which I thought was really thoughtful and planned out.
I thought that, you know, oh, I've heard that before. Quote, I don't know. I was 95% sure that she also said that to him in Rebels.
Oh, sure. Maybe when they were like doing the holocron thing.
Yeah. Because, you know,
that's
because she
possible,
says,
right?
"I'm not going to fight you," and then he says, "Then you will die."
Okay.
Like, if I remember, like that's where my mind went when he said, you know.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
I've heard
yeah,
that
that's probably more plausible than mine, right? But my mind went to when he was battling Luke, and
Oh, yeah.
Luke was like, "I'm not gonna fight you," and yeah. So yeah, no, you're probably right though. As far as I forgot about that encounter during Rebels.
Yeah, I mean, the same thing happened with Luke. I think they were trying to, you know, give that little nod to that in Rebels
Right,
too.
yeah,
You know,
For sure.
But yeah, I think a majority of people saw that, you know, it went back to the Luke and Vader fight. But like I said, just instantly I was thinking of the Rebels fight.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what she says. I would have to look it up again, but
Yeah.
but yeah, that was awesome.
For sure.
I want to ask you, what do you think of Jacen Sedula in this episode?
No, so I think he's definitely force sensitive, right?
Yeah.
Like so when Hera and them are like scouring the surface for Sabine and Ahsoka, right? You hear Jacen like say, "Oh, there's something out there. Do you hear it?" And Hera's like, "I don't hear it." He's like, "There's lightsabers. They're fighting," and she's like, doesn't know, and then like they pause for a moment, and then she could finally hear it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so that was cool. I mean, it was cool that, I mean, he felt it right away, right? Because that makes me believe that he was force sensitive, right?
Yeah.
And then you get the comment from Hu Yang, like, oh, like his father was a Jedi and he has certain abilities. So that was a cool aspect of that. That makes me wonder, like, where his character is gonna go in the future, right? Because I mean, we get this new movie coming out within the next couple of years, like the new Jedi Order, right? With Rey and all that. So maybe he's one of these new Jedis. Obviously, I mean, we have Grogu in the mix too. So and Sabine so there's definitely like more possibilities for Jedi. But I find it hard to make a movie about a new Jedi Order without having more than one Jedi, right? So
Yeah.
I think they definitely have an opportunity to use Jacen Syndulla going forward as a Jedi. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're setting up, the future of Star Wars right there, and
Yeah.
I think it's almost nice seeing that, we know where this kid came from, how he's been raised, and now he's
Yep.
this Jedi. We
Yeah.
really don't get that very often in Star Wars, besides Anakin, right? And
Jedi,
I guess a
yeah.
little bit of Luke,
Yeah.
So, but Rey, for example, she comes in and it's just like, okay, she's a scavenger. We don't know anything about her past until like the third movie type thing, it's like, okay.
Right.
But then she's like this all powerful Jedi. And I think
Yeah.
that's where a lot of people get lost with that, but
Yeah.
I think it's going to be nice seeing that, like, coming from a kid, how he was brought up, training into this awesome Jedi.
Yeah, for sure.
So
I agree.
I agree with what you're saying, setting up that future for Star Wars with Jacen.
I mean, and that might not even happen, right? I mean, they could go a completely different route, but the opportunity's there, right? If you're putting in the fillers between like Rebellion and then like the rise of the First Order or whatever. So I mean, it's possible that somewhere in the mix, Jacen became a Jedi, but we'll see.
We'll see. So moving on from, what do you think of like Hera actually being able to hear the lightsabers too?
I thought it was. I mean, I think that goes back to the messaging throughout the first couple episodes of like the Force is with everyone, right? So obviously that she's been so closely connected to the Force, like throughout Rebels, like working with Ahsoka and working with Kanan and Ezra throughout all that time, like I feel like she's come to an understanding of the Force, right? So she's probably more in tune to it than, say, some of the other folks. I think that would probably be the only reason that she was able to hear it. So, I mean, I was cool with it.
Yeah. Okay, I was curious because I was talking to one of my coworkers, and he was saying that like that was like the one thing that kind of bugged him about it. That
Sure.
like she could just hear the lightsabers, in the world between worlds and all that, and I was like, I can understand why it bugged you, but
Yeah, no, I mean it's no different than seeing Sabine as a Jedi, right? And using Force powers, right? So I get it, right? When you think of the Force, you think of Jedi and Sith, but like throughout, like you've seen in
Rogue One.
Yeah, Rogue One. I mean, that was basically the pathway to showing that the Force can be used outside of just Jedi and Sith.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
good.
no, I was cool with it. I mean, like I said, she has the history there of working with all these Jedi, and obviously her son's in tune to it too. So.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I was dying laughing at Hu Yang.
Oh yeah.
Jacen's like, can I train in there? No.
Yeah.
Do you know how to build a lightsaber? Yes. Can you build me one? No.
Yeah. Yeah, Hu Yang is one of my favorite characters in the show so far. I mean, just because I mean, the history that he has, and then like just the humor behind him,
Yeah.
the dry humor, so to speak, is cool too.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree with that, dude. It's Hu Yang's he's been a great character just to have. He's not necessarily like the comedic relief,
Right. Yeah.
but he's serious, but he can throw in that, like you said, dry humor to where it's
Yeah. Exactly.
almost like
Yeah.
a comedic relief at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
No, it's definitely been good. What are your thoughts on at the end of the episode? Right, we see the Purgles, we see Ahsoka in the white robes again, right?
Yeah.
Coming back from her battle with Anakin and Vader, and she doesn't really talk about it, right? So, I guess two parts of my question. What do you think of like her not wanting to really talk about the battle of like the world between worlds,
mhm.
and then her interaction with the Purgles at the end of the episode?
So I think her not really wanting to talk about it kind of comes from like she's still trying to almost understand like what this was all about, right? We see her wake up and she's like, Anakin, you know. So I mean, she was taught a lesson, some of it might have like set in immediately type thing, but she's still trying to figure out like what else was he getting at here type thing. So that maybe she just doesn't think Hera or Hu Yang or anybody else will be, I don't know, understand it. I don't know,
Right.
but her talking to the Purgles though, that was awesome. We saw in Tales of the Jedi when she was a baby using the beast control and that big tiger.
Yeah.
And then just now that she seems more enlightened after that experience with Anakin,
Right.
just to be able to, I asked them to take us somewhere.
Right, and if you remember too, like Ezra did the same thing in Rebels, right? Like, so that was cool. Like at the end of Rebels, we see Ezra. He's like, "Oh, I'm calling him back up," and then all the Purgles show up, and then they take him and Thrawn out of there, right? But it was cool to see Ahsoka like make that connection as well, especially like you said with like the reference from Tales of the Jedi and her past with that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, no, it is amazing. And then just like, just open up the mouth and she's just like, get in there.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm surprised Hu Yang was even like, like, you want me to do what? Like,
yeah.
But
it's funny too, like, because obviously the Hera's there like against orders, so the New Republic shows up and they're getting ready to like almost, it seemed like, arrest Hera, and then she's like, well, you guys better move because we have people leaving. And then we just see all the Purgles, and it was really cool.
Yeah, I thought we were gonna see a little bit more of the political side coming forward after that. We'll touch more on that next episode.
Sure.
But yeah, dude, it's I don't know what's gonna happen with her. Again, we don't see her in the New Republic or the New Resistance, whatever they call it, with the sequel trilogy. So I mean, maybe she was actually just let go of her command. I mean, I would hate for her to have died on one of those planets that was,
Sure.
I would hate for Jacen Syndulla to be slaughtered by Kylo Ren. It's
right.
But
I mean, yeah, it's possible. We don't know, right? I think that's what's interesting too. Is like there's so many ways Star Wars can go now with all these fillers. But yeah, it'll be interesting. I'm excited for episode 6. I think it should be good.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I think that's all we got for part 5. Unless you got anything.
No. I guess just to recap, Anakin Skywalker is the GOAT.
Freaking amazing.
It was great to see him again live action. It was great to see the Clone Wars.
Great to see Rex.
Rex, I mean, even if it was just for a brief moment.
5 seconds.
We saw him a little bit too at the Siege of Mandalore there, but it was good overall. I gave it a 10 out of 10 episode. So
Same, 10 out of 10 for me as well. I mean,
For
I
sure.
haven't. I think the lowest I gave an episode was, I want to say it was, what was it, episode 2? Or
yeah,
episode,
two the training one
Yeah.
or whatever. Yeah,
And even
it's
that
kinda
was like an
silly, but-
8.5 out of 10,
Yeah,
which
super good.
still amazing.
Yeah, thoroughly impressed with the show so far. Not disappointed whatsoever. So
Oh yeah, 100%. Alrighty, well, catch you on the next episode. Thank you all for stopping by. Check out the socials. I want to update. I need to update Brock's over here. But,
it's all good, man.
If you want to drop that real quick.
Yeah, at SW_Brock on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it.
All right.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in.
Catch you later.
Peace.